Hello and welcome everyone. This is Christophe Clermont, and today I want to show you the retro sign template, which is quite an interesting one since it features a lot of advanced buyer-side configuration options from Printess. So go to the new template, just open it, and here we are. This sign is a single page document. And if you have tried it out with the link above the video, you might have realized that there is a lot of configuration going on here. So you can choose the material, and depending on the material, you might have noticed that some of the options appear or disappear. So let me choose metal sheet. We automatically get this embossed view here, and we also got the drill holes options, which we can change to larger drill holes, or we can actually turn them off completely. We have the option to change the shape of the sign, and we have the option to decide if we want to have varnish or not. And even that is graphically indicated by slide reflections on the sign. So back to the sticker, for example, foil, we don't have all these options. So what's most amazing and what I will show you right now is that none of these options require actual scripting. So let's have a look on the admin side where we see this document. The document actually consists of 4 documents. We have the sign itself. We actually have the frames on top of it where the user can change the text, the name, and exchange the image. And also we have one document which is actually only available or responsible for the shape of the sign. So we have round and sharp edges and with or without border. That's our 4 different conditions here. Actually, we have named that pages in exactly that way. The second document here is holes. Again, we have all the 3 states: no holes, holes with 0.3 millimeters, and some larger ones are reflected as pages on that document. The background color which you see here is actually only the background color of the page, so we can safely turn that off. But yeah, for layout reasons, sometimes it's nice to have them. They will not appear later on. And then we got the varnish document, which follows the exact same rules. It has 2 states. One state is first page, no varnishing, and varnishing itself is the second page. So pretty simple. So how can we get all these things to life? So let's have a look at the sign square and especially at the layers here. So what we have is we have a layer for varnishing, we have one for the holes and one for the frames. And on this layer, we actually, this is by the way, it's now invisible, the layer, but we can turn the visibility on. We have that document actually placed, which is nothing else like a frame which is set to the document varnishing, which actually in return is our varnishing subdocument here. So that's it. We just place it on there and we got the 2 states, either it has varnishing or not. So what's really interesting is when I switch to the buyer side, I see the varnishing option if I'm on acrylic glass, but I don't see them if I'm on sticker. So how does this link up work? There is something what we call a layer matrix or a matrix product, which is visible below here. And the matrix product is just a list of strings of text, of names. So you can easily put your own matrix product in here and call it my product. And then we can actually check if that has holes, varnishing, or even emboss, which actually indicates a metal shield. So if we turn these both off, the holes, and we leave only the varnishing on, and now we go again to the buyer side and select my product here, we will see we have the varnish, but we don't have the drill holes. That's because this layer is not visible. And now what's magic is basically that this matrix product here allows to steer a combination of visibility of layers. And the layers itself in return, they have some intelligence. So when a layer isn't visible, so let's say the varnish layer is not visible, or better here, the holes layer, it's not visible. In that moment, the system automatically determines if the layer is not visible, then the frame is not visible as well. So if the frame is not visible and the frame has an option, we don't show the option. So that's all the logic here. It's pretty straightforward graphical work without any scripting or any techie thoughts in there. The other question we have to answer is, where does the selection come from? So where can I select no varnish or glossy varnish? And that's again extremely simple. So what we have is we have the varnish frame here, which is actually linked to our document varnishing. And the document has 2 pages with named no varnish and glossy varnish. By simply having that pages named that way, we actually see the both options. And this value is actually coming to a form field. So where is my form field? We have 2 kinds of form fields. We have form fields on the template base, which actually are across all subdocuments, and we have form fields on the level of the document here. And since this frame is placed on the document, the form field automatically appears only for the sign square, because there's where the frame is placed. So having a look at that form field, which actually is, would we call it an auto-generated form field, because this switch is set on. So if we turn it off, that field will disappear immediately. If we turn it on, the field appear. And it already have set values. So it has no varnishing and varnishing, which are actually the names of the pages. That's what we can select, and which actually automatically turns pages off and on, so the buyer can see what he or her has selected. The other aspect is a more sophisticated UI, like we see here with the shapes, where we basically have the same situation. So we have our frame subdocument with the options round, frame, square with frame, round, and square. And if we go back to the form field, we actually see exactly that options reflected in the value list. And they are non-editable because they're coming from the document. But what we've done in addition here is we actually made some small images, uploaded these images to the list, and by doing so, we get a nicer UI with some graphical guidance for the user. And we have set the user interface to image list. That's all the magic behind that fairly complex document. But there is a little bit more to it, because there's one option more which I haven't talked about, and this is the size option. So what we also can do is we can change the size of the sign, and by changing it, the entire document rescales. So it's interesting to see how the size is actually working. So if we go to the size form field here, we can add another option and basically add another size which that sign could take, like something in between, like 50 by, let's say, 35. And we can also move this on top here so it fits in the list. If we go to the buyer side and select the new size of 50 by 35, the sign will automatically adjust to this size. So why the rescaling works here in that Printess sign has to do with just the rescaling of the entire document, and some of the frames are also using flex design to adjust in a proper way. So example, the holes are a little bit tricky because they have a fixed size set from left to top. And they also, and they should maintain this size no matter which size the sign has. So they're always maintaining their fixed units. Whereby other elements, like for example, the frame inside here is actually set to %. So depending on the size of the document, these frames will grow or shrink and always maintain a percentage relationship to the edges. By having fixed units like pixel, centimeter, inch, and flexible units like %, we can actually manage all the cases which occur in the real life documents. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and thanks for listening. See you back next time.